Class students, in previous class NS third lesson completed transportation, the circulatory system. In that we learned transportation, how transportation takes place in plants and how transportation takes place in animals, no, and plants also we learned. Today in this class I will explain about the keywords which present in third lesson. With the help of keywords we have to learn once again the third lesson in a detailed manner. All of you open your page number 69. Open your page number 69 and observe the keywords which present in the third lesson. First keyword is circulation. What is meant by circulation? Transport of various materials within the body is known as circulation, also called as transportation. Also called as transportation. Second keyword, auricles. What are auricles? If you will observe human heart, we can find out four chambers. The upper chambers are called auricles and the lower chambers are called ventricles. Right auricle, left auricle. Right ventricle, left ventricle. A very two deep grooves. One is vertical and the one is horizontal, which separate heart into how many chambers? Four chambers. 1, 2, 3, 4. So upper chambers are auricles, lower chambers are called ventricles. Right side right auricle, left side left auricle. Right side right ventricle, left side left ventricle. Fourth keyword, pulse. Pulse means when heart pumps the blood enters into the artery with some pressure is known as pulse. Do you know children? Pulse rate is equal to heartbeat. Already I explained. When pulse rate increases, heartbeat also increases. When pulse rate decreases, heartbeat also decreases. Artery. Arteries are the blood vessels which carries oxygenated blood except pulmonary artery. Arteries have elastic fibrous cord. This helpful to bear the pressure of the blood. Bear the pressure of the blood. Veins. Veins are the blood vessels which carries deoxygenated blood except pulmonary vein. Pulmonary vein carries oxygenated blood instead of deoxygenated blood. Veins have a tough fibrous cord. Why? Because the blood pressure will be low in veins. Now stethoscope, very important. Stethoscope. A scientist called Ran Lennox discovered stethoscope for the first time. Stethoscope is an instrument which used to measure heartbeat of a person. Stethoscope was discovered by Ran Lennox. Stethoscope is an instrument which used to measure the heartbeat of a person. Now, aorta. Do you know aorta is the largest blood vessel which arises from left ventricle. Aorta is the largest blood vessel. Why? Because it supplies more blood to all body parts. So, aorta is the largest blood vessel which arises from left ventricle. Now, capillary. Do you know capillary is not a English word, it is a Latin word. In English meaning is hair. Artery ends with capillaries, vein starts with the capillaries. Next, systole. What is meant by systole? The contraction phase of heart is called systole and the relaxation phase of heart is called diastole. When the contraction come together known as systole, far away, that is called diastole. Contraction of heart is called systole. Contraction phase of heart is called systole and the relaxation phase of heart is called diastole. One systole, one diastole is equal to cardiac cycle. Do you know children? Cardiac cycle. What is meant by cardiac cycle? One contraction, one relaxation of heart is called cardiac cycle. Or one systole, one diastole is equal to cardiac cycle. How much time is required for completion of one cardiac cycle is 0.8 seconds. The time required for completion of one cardiac cycle is 0.8 seconds. Next one is blood pressure. Do you know children? Some people thought blood pressure is abnormal condition. Blood pressure is a disease, but blood pressure is not a disease. Or we have blood pressure. Blood enters into the arteries with some pressure or force is known as blood pressure. Blood enters into the arteries from heart with some force or pressure is known as blood pressure. Next one is lymph. Lymph is also a Latin word, in English meaning is water. Lymph also called as tissue fluid. Lymph also called as tissue fluid. When heart pumps the blood is carried by arteries to cells or tissues. Here, the amount of fluid which is present in the blood stay for some time in tissues known as tissue fluid, simply called as lymph. Lymph is a Latin word, in English meaning is water. Next one is single circulation. What is meant by single circulation? Blood enters into the heart for only one time, that is called single circulation. Blood enters into the heart, body part from heart, that is called one time, that is called single circulation. Examples of animals which perform single circulation is fish. Single circulation means blood enters into the heart for only one time, that is called single circulation. Single circulation seen in fish. And second one is double circulation. Double circulation means blood enters into the heart for two times. One from body parts to heart, second from lungs to heart. Examples of organisms which perform double circulation is amphibians, reptiles, birds, mammals. These are the organisms which perform double circulation. Blood enters into the heart for how many times? Two times. One from body parts to heart, second from lungs to heart. Next one is coagulation of blood. Coagulation of blood. What is meant by coagulation? Coagulation means clotting. At the time of injuries, blood will clot within 3 to 6 minutes. This is helpful to save the people from overbleeding. So already we know that blood platelets play an important role in coagulation of blood. Already we learned the flow chart which shows about coagulation of blood. At the time of injuries, blood releases an enzyme known as thrombokinase. This thrombokinase acts on a substance present in the blood known as prothrombin and converts into thrombin. Now thrombin acts on another substance called as fibrinogen and converts into fibrin. This fibrin converts soluble fibers into insoluble fibers. These insoluble fibers pull the wounded edges. This is helpful for wound healing. The total process takes place within 3 to 6 minutes. So that is called coagulation of blood. Now, after blood clotting, a fluid is formed on blood clotting, that is called serum. Serum is the fluid which formed after blood clotting, and plasma is also present in the blood before blood clotting. So this is serum and this is plasma. Serum is the fluid which formed after blood clotting. Plasma is the liquid portion of blood before blood clotting. Now, sphygmomanometer. Sphygmomanometer, the instrument which used to measure blood pressure is known as sphygmomanometer. At the time of blood pressure measurement, doctors select a particular place, that is called upper arm artery, and doctors will take two readings. Doctors will take two readings at the time of blood pressure measurement. At the time of two readings, that is systolic pressure, and second one is diastolic pressure. Both united together is called blood pressure. In systolic pressure, the first reading, when ventricles contract, blood enters into the arteries with how much pressure, and in the second reading, when ventricles relax, that is called diastole, blood enters into the heart with how much pressure. That can be measured by 120 by 80 Hg. 120, the numerator indicates systolic pressure and the denominator indicates diastolic pressure. This is the normal BP of human. What is the normal BP of human? Healthy human is 120 by 80. The numerator 120 indicates systolic pressure, and the denominator 80 indicate diastolic pressure. In systolic pressure, when ventricles contract, that is called ventricular systole, blood enters into the arteries with how much pressure? In the second reading, 80, when ventricles relax, blood enters into the heart with how much pressure? So, that is a normal blood pressure. If the blood pressure is above 120 by 80, that is called hypertension or high BP. Already we learned the reasons for high BP: constant stress and strain, smoking, alcohol, are the ways that the due to blood pressure, high blood pressure, hypertension. These are the reasons for high BP. If you will avoid constant stress and strain, if you avoid smoking, alcohol, we can control the high BP. BP can be measured by an instrument known as sphygmomanometer, simply called as BP apparatus. Next one is prothrombin. Already I explained. Prothrombin, at the time of injuries, blood releases an enzyme known as thrombokinase, acts on a substance known as prothrombin and converts into thrombin. Thrombin acts on another substance known as fibrinogen and converts into fibrin. Fibrin converts soluble fibers into insoluble fibers. This insoluble fibers pull the wound at the edges. This takes within 3 to 6 minutes in the time of blood clotting. Next one is root hair. Root hair are the microscopic structures at the time of germination. If you will observe in sprouts with the help of ant lens, we can find the root hair. What are the root hair? Root hair are the structure which helps to absorb water from soil and send it to all parts of the plant. Okay, that is called root hair. Already I explained LS of root hair and how water is transported from soil to all parts of the plant, and also I explained about cell sap, very important, cell sap. What meant by cell sap? The first cell of root hair which contain concentrated salt solution, that is called root cell sap, that is called cell sap. What is meant by radicle? At the time of germination, if you will observe in seed, at the time of germination, a white color structures are developed. No, this one is called radicle. Radicle is the first part developed from seed, germinating seed. This radicle develop into root, and these are called cotyledons. These cotyledons after produce plumule. Plumule means stem. This plumule indicates stem and the radicle indicates root. So next one is root pressure. What is meant by root pressure? Roots have some pressure to absorb water from soil and send it to all parts of the plant against gravity. If you will observe in plant, we can find out roots grows towards gravity and stem grows towards sunlight. So roots grow towards gravitational force and stem grows towards sun. For this purpose, to transport water and minerals against gravity, roots have some pressure known as root pressure. Root pressure is helpful to transport water and minerals against gravitational force. And next one is transpiration. If you will observe, root pressure is enough to transport water and minerals in small plants. But if you will take huge trees like eucalyptus, if you will take eucalyptus, the length of eucalyptus, the height of eucalyptus tree is 180 meters approximately. So, to transport water and minerals from soil against gravitational force, such trees require two processes. One is root pressure and second one is transpiration. In average sized trees, root pressure is enough to transport water and minerals. In huge trees like eucalyptus or red sandalwood, root pressure along with transpiration play an important role in transpiration. Now, plant nutrients. Do you know, children? According to the requirement of plant, nutrients can be classified into two groups according to their requirement. One is macronutrients and the one is micronutrients. Macronutrients means which are required to plants in large quantities. Micronutrients means which are required to plants in small quantities. For example, if you will take calcium, magnesium, sodium, potassium are called macronutrients which require large quantities to our body. Micronutrients means which require small quantities to plant, that is zinc, copper, selenium, molybdenum, etc. are micronutrients. Both are required to plants, but some are required large quantities, some are required small quantities. Calcium, magnesium, sodium, potassium are macronutrients. Zinc, copper, selenium, molybdenum are called micronutrients. Xylem, phloem. Xylem is a tissue which helps to transport water from soil to all parts of the plant. Phloem is the tissue which transport food from leaves to all parts of the plant. Both xylem and phloem united together is called vascular bundle. Vascular means transport. They present one upon another, no? They are known as vascular bundle. So children, these are the key words which present in third lesson. In the next class, I will explain about fourth lesson, that is called excretion. Okay?